Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. We got the final game of this 3-game series between the Phillies and the Braves. Leading off for the Phillies in game number 3, playing right field McBride, batting second, playing shortstop Boa, batting third, playing third base Smith, batting fourth, playing left field Lazinski, batting fifth, playing first base Hebner, batting sixth, playing center field Maddox, batting seventh, doing the catching is Boone, batting eighth, playing second base is Johnson, and batting ninth and doing the pitching is Larry Christensen. And for the home team, Atlanta Braves, leading off, playing second base, Jerry Royster, batting second, playing center field, Asselton, batting third, playing right field, Matthews, batting fourth, playing left field, Burris, batting fifth, playing doing the catching is Pocoroba, batting sixth, playing first base is Murphy, batting seventh, playing third base is Bunnell, batting eighth, playing shortstop's Cheney, and batting ninth and doing the pitching is Preston HANNA. Down here at Atlanta Fulton County Stadium and get this show on the road. You see the Braves' upcoming schedule. They stay at home and play the Reds for 3 games, and then they go on the road to take on the Cubbies. And you got McBride batting .278 with 3 homers and 17 RBIs, going up against Preston HANNA. This is his 9th start, 10th appearance. He's 2-6 with a 7.5 ERA. And here's the pitch to McBride, and that's going to be a base hit in the left field. The Phillies start off here with a leadoff single. Sorry, a base hit into, left field. And Larry Bow is at the plate now with a runner on at first and nobody out. And Boa is batting .279 with a homer and 16 RBIs. And that's going to be a ground ball down the short. And 62 and an 8, probably still going to be fielding column 3. And it is. And they'll get the batter out at first. The runner will make it down in the scoring position for out number 1. And Mike Smith's up now with a runner in scoring position and 1 out. Smith's batting .217, 4 homers, 23 RBIs. And that's going to be a ground ball. Nope, that's going to be a hit by pitch unless he's an HB0. Nope, they hit Michael. And Mike's down at first and second. He ain't too happy, but I don't think he's doing that on purpose this early in the game. And Lazinski's up now, batting a .193, 6 homers, 20 RBI. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. They strike the bull out. Big out there by Preston. And now you got Ricky Hebner up. Hebner's batting .310 with 3 homers and 18 RBIs. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Royster. He'll go the short way over to second, and that'll end the inning. Phillies strand 2 in the top of the first. Phillies nothing. Braves coming to bat with Royster, Asselton, and Matthews. And Royster's batting .302 on the year, no homers and 15 RBIs. Larry Christenson, this is his 9th start. He's 4-4 with a 3.4 ERA. And that's going to be against the righty, a 14 on a 10. And that's going to be a single in the center field. Jerry Royster's aboard here with the leadoff single. See if the Braves can cash in, unlike the Phillies on the top of the inning. Got the leadoff batter and couldn't score him. And Asselton's up batting .200 with a homer and 9 RBIs. And that's going to be a fly ball out to McBride. And that'll be out number 1. And here comes Matthews, batting .260, 2 homers and 7 RBIs. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. He strikes Matthews out. Now there's 2 outs and Jerry Royster still down at first. And Burris is batting .289 with 5 homers and 24 RBIs. And that's going to be a fly ball out the right field. And that's going to be a nice play out there. Single to right, not a nice play. Runner out at third now. Yep, so that's going to be a single, and Royster gets thrown out at third, folks. Now to win the inning. Don't know why Royster was doing that. He could have scored on a single probably. But now to win the inning, we get to the top of the second, and it's 0-0. You got Maddox, Boone, and Johnson due up here. Maddox is batting .231 on the year, 4 homers and 22 RBIs, and you see the team comparisons there. Phillies with a 22-17 record. They struck out 252 times, walked 187, hit 77 doubles and 13 triples. And the Braves are 16-25. They've scored 283 runs, walked 177 times, and also hit 77 doubles and 27 triples. And here's the pitch to Maddox. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Murphy at first. He takes it himself for out number 1. And Mr. Boone comes to the plate, batting a .196, 2 homers and 14 RBIs. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Matthews and right. That'll be 2 quick outs here in the second for Davey Johnson. And Davey's batting .370 on the year, a homer and 6 RBIs. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. HANNA strikes him out. That ends the top of the second. To the bottom of the second we go. In the bottom part of the order, well, in the middle part of the order, Pokeroba, Murphy, and Bunnell due up. Biff batting .273, 5 homers, 14 RBIs. And that's a ground ball down the Boa over to Hebner. And that'll be out number 1. That brings up Dale Murphy. And Murphy's batting .215. And he's got 10 homers and 18 RBIs. And that's a fly ball to right field. McBride takes it for out number 2. And that leaves it up to Bunnell here, batting .255. No homers and 8 RBIs. Can he get a 2-out rally started? And that will be a against a righty of 13. And that's going to be a fly ball out the left field. Lazinski makes the catch. And that'll do it. The Braves go down 1-2-3. To the top of the third we go. No score here in Atlanta. And we'll have Christensen to start off. Then McBride and Boa. And Larry is 0 for 18 on the year. And he's going to be 0 for 14 because that's a slow grounder down the first. Murphy takes it and steps on the bag for out number 1. We're back to the top of the order now. McBride got a single his first time up. And that's going to be a ground ball out in front of the plate. Nice play by Pokeroba. He's up with it. He fires it. Matter of fact, that's going to be a pop-up. Nope, that's a ground ball out in front of the plate. Fires it down to Murphy for out number 2. And Larry Boa steps up to the plate now. 2 outs and nobody on. And he grounded out the shortest first time up. And that's going to be a ground ball back to the mound. And a 1-2-3 inning for the Braves. To the bottom of the third we go. You got Cheney, HANNA, bottom part of the order, and then back to Royster. Cheney's batting .321 with a homer and 4 RBIs. And that's going to be a rare play at 12 on a 39. And that's going to be a swing and a miss, strike 1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And he works a walk out of this. Nice job by Cheney. Gets a board here with nobody out. HANNA's going to try to bunt him down the second. Try to get that go-ahead run in the scoring position. And that's going to be a 2 balls and no strikes. Here he is trying to bunt, and Larry can't get the ball over the plate. The 2-0 pitch, and that's going to be, now it's a 2-2 count. He missed 2 times the bunt. Here's the 2-2 pitch, and we drop the dice. And we drop the dice here. It's not an official game until you do that. And we got and he misses the last attempt to bunt. That's going to be a strikeout, so HANNA can't get the job done. So you still got a runner at first. And now there's 1 out, and Royster's 1 for 1 today. He singled back in the first, and we drop the dice again. And that's going to be against the righty, 14. That's going to be a single in the right field. Cheney's going to stop at second. So now you got first and second and 1 out for Brian Asselton. And he get the Braves on the board here first in a 0-0 game. And Aaron Reed joins us here today. Brian's 0 for 1. He flew out the right. And that's going to be against the lefty. They're starting to get against the righty. They're starting to get the Larry here. 8 against 11. And that's going to be a single in the center field. That should score Cheney easily. Let's see here. Yeah, he'll score with no throw. The question is, can Royster get the third? That is the question. And he's going to stay put at second. So that's an RBI single by Asselton. Gets the Braves on the board. And you still got first and second now for Matthews. Can he deliver here and double this lead? Matthews struck out his first time up. And that's going to be a ground ball down the second. And let's see here. That's going to be a pop-up down the second. Johnson makes the catch for out number 2. Let's see here. Let's move these infielders around a little bit. Make it easier to see them. Give me 1 second. We'll do a little housekeeping here. Little housekeeping. A little behind the scenes action. Move these infielders around here. Move the first baseman over some. Second baseman over. Shortstop. And third base. We move the runners over some. While we're in here. And the batters as well. What the heck? Might as well do it all while we're in here. Alrighty, now let's see if that looks a little better. Let's see if that does the trick. Makes it a little more pleasing to the eyes. Not much, huh? Not much. I guess I can do try this. We're going to give it one more try here. One more try. Do it this way here. Moves the second base here. And then just a little bit. That should do the trick. That might do the trick. See if that did the trick. Nope, didn't make much of a difference. Here we go. Burris is at the plate. First and second, the Braves up 1-0. 2 outs here. Can Burris deliver? And that's going to be a base on nope. That's going to be 2 balls and no strikes. Here's the 2-0 pitch. And he gets a hold of this. Jeff Burris nails this one, folks. See where this lands up at. That is going to be a double in the right field. And with 2 outs, Asselton may score here from first. So let's see. That'll be a 51 in the right field. And McBride in the right doesn't have a very strong arm. And Asselton will score with no throw. So that's a 2 RBI double for Burris. And it is a 3-0 ball game. The Braves putting it on Larry here in the bottom of the third. And now you got Mr. Pocoroba up, the runner down at second. And 2 outs. You know, it'll take a decent hit even with 2 outs to score Burris with his speed. Here's the pitch to Pocoroba. And that's going to be a ground ball down the first. Hebner's up with it. He tosses it over to Larry covering, but the Braves score 3. 2 of them on that Burris's double. And we go to the top of the fourth, a 3-0 Braves lead. You got Smith, Lazinski, and Hebner due up here. Mike got hit by a pitch his first time up. And that's going to be a ground ball. Nope, that's going to be a base on balls. An old W. So Smith's down at first. Hit him and walk him. Don't want nothing to do with Mike today. And Lazinski struck out his first time up. And that's going to be a back-to-back strikeouts. He's got the Bulls number. That's 1 out now. The runner's still down at first for Richie Hebner. Hebner grounded into a force play his first time up. And that's going to be a back-to-back strikeouts. So HANNA, after walking Smith, settles down and strikes out the next 2. Can he strike the side out? And Maddox grounded out the first his first time up. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Matthews. So the leadoff walk goes nowhere. We go to the bottom of the fourth. It's still 3-0 Braves. You got Murphy, Bunnell, and Cheney up. Murphy flew out the McBride in the ride his first time up. That's going to be a comebacker to Larry. Throws it over to first for out number 1. And you can see that the Phillies are batting .242 on the year with a .328 on base percentage, slugging .364 with a .692 OPS. The Braves are batting .256, a .322 on base percentage, slugging .366 and an OPS of .688. And Barry's up. He flew out the left his first time up. And not this time. That's a base hit in the right field. So Barry's aboard here with a 1-out single. And Darrell Cheney comes to the plate now. And Cheney, he walked and came around to score back in the third. And that's going to be a, let's see, I might make it through. A 24 on a 3. Might make it through the first base hole there. 24. 3, that'll be fielding column 1. And that's going to be the old double play ball, folks. That'll be the old 3-6-3 double play. Not what the Braves want to see. That'll end the inning. Cheney grounds into the inning double play, the pitcher's best friend, and now we go to the top of the 5th. And you can see the Phillies schedule. They go home to take on the Pirates for 3 games, and then the Dodgers come to town. And you got Boone due up, followed by Johnson and Christensen, the bottom part of the order. And Boone flew out to right his first time up. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. He strikes Boone out. And that brings up Davy Johnson. Nobody on and 1 out. Johnson struck out his first time up. And that's going to be back-to-back strikeouts for Johnson. That's 6 strikeouts for HANNA. through 5 innings. And that'll bring up Larry Christensen. He grounded out to first his first time up. And this is going to be a ground ball back to the mound. 35 and a 2 should be fielding column 1. And it is a nice play out there by Preston. He fields that ball, throws it over to Murphy, and out to win the inning. 1, 2, 3 goes the Phillies. Preston HANNA's pitching a masterpiece out here so far today, folks. And now you got up Mr. HANNA himself, followed by Royster and Asselton. Here's the pitch to Preston. He is 0 for 1. He struck out his first time up. That's a ground ball down to Johnson at second, over to Hebner. And Philip Reynolds joins us here today. And now you got Jerry Royster up. He's 2 for 2. 2 singles in the first and third. And that's going to be number 3, I believe, here. 14. Nice play out there in left field by the Bull. He takes a base hit away from Royster. You don't often hear the Bull making a good play, but he did that time. Now you got Brian Asselton up here with 2 outs. He had an RBI single back in the third. And that's going to be another fly ball out to the Bull. A lot easier play this time. And the Braves go down in order. 1, 2, 3. To the top of the 6th we go. We got McBride, followed by Boa and Smith. The top of the order due up here. McBride gave one a ride back in the first. What it does here. And that's going to be a 9. That's going to be a base hit in the left field. So McBride's aboard here with a leadoff single. With a base hit in the left field. Let's see here. And now you got Larry Boa up. Larry's grounded out twice to short and to first. Back to the mound. And that's going to be hit, I think, back down. That's going to be hit back to the mound, and it is. But HANNA strikes him out instead. And McBride, I think, is going to try to take off and get into scoring position here. Matter of fact, he'll make it easily. That's going to be a stolen base by McBride. Don't even have to roll the dice with Pocoroba's arm. So that's a stolen base. McBride's now down at second. And 1 out for Mike Smith in this 3-0 game. Smith has been hit by a pitch and walked. Here's the pitch to Michael Jack Smith. That's going to be a 9 against a 9. Yep. And that's going to be a ground ball down the short. And let's see here. He looks the runner back to second. Fires over to first. And that'll be out number 2. So now there's 2 outs. The runner's still down at second for Mr. Lazinski. He's 0 for 2. He struck out twice against HANNA. And that's going to be another ground ball down the Cheney. He fires over to first. And that'll do it. McBride gets stranded at second. We go to the bottom of the 6th. It's still a 3-0 Braves ball game. These Phillies have not been able to hit these Braves pitchers in this series. Gary Matthews is up, followed by Burris and Pocoroba. Matthews is 0 for 2, struck out and popped up. And that's going to be a fly ball out to McBride for out number 1. And now you got Burris due up here, and he's a perfect 2 for 2. He has a single and a 2 RBI double back in the third. That's a ground ball down to Davey at second, over to Hebner for 2. And now it's up to Pocoroba to do something here in the bottom of the 6th. He's grounded out twice. And that's going to be a 3rd ground ball out. That's back to the mound, over the Hebner. And 1, 2, 3 goes the Braves. We go to the top of the 7th. 3-0 Atlanta. And you got Hebner, Maddox, and Boone due up here against Preston. And here's the pitch. Preston's 0 for 2 today. And he's going to be 0 for 3. That's going to be a ground ball down the Barrios third over to Murph for out number 1. And now you got Maddox up. He's 0 for 2. He is grounded out and flown out. And that's going to be a base on balls. Is that the first walk of the game? Nope, just the second walk of the game by HANNA. And that'll bring up Mr. Boone now, down by 3. A runner down at first. And Bob's 0 for 2. He's flown out and struck out. And that's going to be a ground ball down the third. 24 3. Can they go around the horn? That is the question. And 24 3 on the third baseman. That'll be fielding column 2. They'll get the runner out at second, but unable to turn 2. So now there's 2 outs and Boone down at first to Davy Johnson. And Davy is 0 for 2. He struck out twice. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Murph. And let's see, a 32 on a 2. 32 on a 2. That's going to be fielding column 3. And they're going to get the, let's see here, with 2 outs, does it change? That's going to be a base on balls with that W. Another walk, and all of a sudden Preston's now walking himself into trouble here. So now you got Larry up, and they're going to have to pitch it for him. Even though he's not pitching too bad, they need to score some runs. So now you got first and second. And 2 outs. Let's see who they're going to bring up here. They really don't have a great bench. It's the only thing the Phillies are missing here. They're going to bring out Jerry Martin. I know it's just going to bring out the righty. I'm not going to bring on Johnstone. He hasn't done nothing in this series, so they're bringing out the righty Martin. See if he can pop one here and tie this game up. Where's Jerry at? There he is. And Martin's batting .233, has a homer and 3 RBIs. Here's the pitch to Martin. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Matthews in right field. And that'll end the inning. The Phillies strand 2 more, folks. And we go to the 7th inning stretch in a 3-0 ball game.
PRESTON.
Alrighty, now we need a pitcher here for the Phillies. And let's see who that's going to be. Let's see who's going to come out of the bullpen. And it's going to be Warren Brustar. It's going to come out of the bullpen. Trying to keep us a 3-run lead here for the Braves. Can't afford to give up any more runs. He's going to be facing Murphy, Bunnell, and Cheney. Murphy's 0 for 2, flown out and grounded out. And against the righty, that'll be a 7, 18, and a 9. And that's going to be a ground ball down the short. Bo is up with it. He's going to fire over to first for out number 1. And now you got Barry Bunnell up. Let's see what Barry can do here. He's 1 for 2. He's single back in the 4th. And that's going to be another ground ball down to Larry. That'll be out number 2. 2 ground balls to Boa, 2 outs. And now you got Cheney due up. Cheney has walked back in the 3rd and grounded out. And that's going to be a 18. And that's going to be a fly ball in the center field. Maddox makes the catch. 1, 2, 3 goes to Braves. We go to the top of the 8th. And it's still a 3-0 ball game here. Preston HANNA is pitching a masterpiece, a 2-hit shutout. And he's got McBride, the top of the order, Boa and Smith. McBride has both hits in this ball game. He has singled back in the 1st and 6th and stole a base in the 6th. So McBride's the only one that's figured out HANNA. And here's the pitch. That's going to be a fly ball out to Matthews in right field for out number 1. And now you got Larry Boa up. And Larry's 0 for 3. He is grounded out twice and struck out. And that's another fly ball out to Matthews. 2 fly balls to right, 2 outs. And Michael Smith's up. He's 0 for 1. He's been hit by a pitch and walked. Grounded out in the 6th. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. And 1, 2, 3 goes to Phillies. We go to the bottom of the 8th. It's still 3-0. HANNA's going to lead it off here with pitching this 2-hit shutout. He's 0 for 2. He is struck out and grounded out, and he'll be followed by Royster and Asselton. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Hebner. He calls off Warren. Takes it himself for out number 1. Here comes Jerry Royster up now. And Royster, let's see here. He should be on one hell of a hitting streak. Take a look here. How many game hitting streak is he on? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This will be his 13-game hitting streak for Jerry Royster. Royster's 2 for 3 today. He is singled back in the 1st and 3rd. Came around the score in the 3rd. Here's the pitch for Royster. And that's going to be a swing and a miss after bragging him up. Of course, he's got to strike out. Legends Universe knows what I'm talking about. And now brings up Brian Asselton. He had an RBI single back in the 3rd. 2 outs, nobody on. And that's going to be a lazy fly ball out to Maddox. He makes the catch, and we go to the top of the 9th. A 3-0 ball game. Preston trying to close this one out. A 2-hit shutout. He's got the big boys due up. Lizinski, Hebner, and Maddox. The bull is 0 for 3, struck out twice and grounded out. And that's going to be a base on balls. That'll get the bullpen stirring now. And you got Richie Hebner up now. Hebner's 0 for 3. He's grounded into a fielder's choice, struck out, and grounded out. And that's going to be back-to-back walks. And Preston struggling here in the 9th. Tying run comes to the plate, and Maddox going out to talk to him. Maddox is 0 for 2. He is grounded out and flown out and walked back in the 7th. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be against the righty. 7. Let's see. That'll be a 19, 22, 1st and 2nd. 1st and 2nd. 22, and that is going to be a single in the left field. And Lizinski with nobody out, does he try to advance? That is the question. 57 minus a 28. And he will Let's see here, and they're going to throw it in the third. Hebner's going to stop, and that's going to be it for Preston. So an RBI single, and now it's still first and second. And Hanna can't get the job done here, folks. Cannot close it out. Let's see who they're going to go to in the bullpen. First and second, nobody out. And they're going to go to Rick Camp. See if Rick can close this game out here. In a heck of a predicament. Rick Camp's going to come in here and try to save this game. As Hebner goes 8+ innings. And there went the shutout, a 3-hit. He's responsible for the other 2 runners, so he can't lose the game. So you got first and second and Boone up. The Braves would love a ground ball double play. This is Camp's 13th appearance. He's 0-4 with 4 saves, a 7.5 ERA. Going up against Boone, who's 0-for-3, flown out, struck out, and grounded out. And that's going to be what the doctor ordered. That's a ground ball down the Cheney. He's going to go over to second, over to Murph. 6-4-3 double play. Where Camp comes in and gets 2 quick outs. Now you got a runner down at third and 2 outs. Tying run still at the plate though. Davey Johnson's 0-for-2. He is struck out twice and walked. And that's going to end the ball game. That's a ground ball down the first. Well, let's see. A 56 shot. It's going to be a ground ball. Pop up down the first in foul territory. Murph makes the catch. And that ends this ball game. Phillies tried to make it interesting in the 9th. Braves hold on and win 3-1. Take a look here at the box score. Preston couldn't get the shutout or the complete game, but he pitched a hell of a game. And the Braves sweep the Phillies. I would have never thought that. Never would have thought the Braves would have swept these Phillies. Great pitching. The Phillies did not hit. We'll go back and look and see how many runs they scored. The Braves 3 runs on only 6 hits. No errors. The Phillies 1 run on 3 hits and no errors. Oh, McBride, only Philly with more than 1 hit. He was 2-for-4. The Phillies 1-for-7 with runners in scoring position. Left 7 men on base. Royster and Burris both 2-for-4 and 2-for-3. The Braves were very efficient. 2-for-3 with runners in scoring position. Only left 2 men on base. Larry Christensen with a tough loss. He goes to 4-5. 6 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs, walked 1, struck out 2. And Warren comes in, 2 innings and a strikeout. Preston Hanna with an awesome game goes to 3-6. 8 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, walked 5, struck out 8. Camp comes in, gets his 5th save of the year. 1 inning. Nice job by the Braves. Let's go back here and look before we play some other games here. So the Phillies scored 1 there. None there. So in a 3-game series, the Phillies was only able to score 2 runs in 3 games against the Braves. Give the Braves pitching some credit, but the Phillies definitely slumping at the bat. Now let's take a look at the rest of these National League games here on the 28th. And the first game we're going to have is the Mets going up against the Astros in Houston. Let's see if there's any problems in Houston. And Houston says everything is A-OK. 4 runs, 9 hits, and 1 run for the Astros. The Mets 1 run, 7 hits, and no errors. Then you got the Expos taking on the Pirates up in Pennsylvania. And the Pirates win 4 runs, 6 hits, and 2 errors. The Expos 1 run, 3 hits, and 1 error. Then you got the Reds traveling out to San Diego to take on the Padres. Battle of the lefties, Norman and Jones. And the Padres win 6 runs, 8 hits, and no errors. The Reds 4 runs, 10 hits. They out-hit them but couldn't outscore them. And 3 errors. I wonder how big those errors were. Then you got the Dodgers taking on the Giants in San Francisco. And the Giants win 4 runs, 8 hits, and 2 errors. Dodgers 2 runs, 4 hits, and 3 errors. And last but not least, here on the 28th, the Cubbies taking on their rival in St. Louis, the Cardinals. And the Cubbies win a close one. 2 runs, 8 hits, and no errors. The Cardinals 1 run, 7 hits, and 1 error. Now let's take a look at the standings and the leaderboard here in the National League. You got the Expos a half a game up on the Pirates. The Phillies and Cubbies are 2.5 games back. The Mets 10.5. And the Cardinals are 13.5. And out west, the Dodgers is 3.5 games up on the Giants. Astros are 6 games back. San Diego 8. Cincinnati Reds 10. And the Braves creeping up the ladder a little bit with that 3-game winning streak, 11 games back. Enos Cabell is leading the National League, and his teammate Jose Cruz with a .359 batting average. George Foster with the Reds with 13 homers and 46 RBIs to lead the National League. And Jim Barr with the Giants leading with a 1.64 ERA. Steve Rogers with 8 saves, and Raleigh Fingers leading the National League with, Rogers with 8 wins. Fingers leading the National League with 8 saves. Foster's leading in the MVP voting. And Rogers is leading in the Cy Young. I want to thank Philip Reynolds and Aaron Reed. Check out their 2 great channels. Let's see who the Yankees will be the next game coming up here in 78. See who the Yankees are taking on in the pitching matchup for that game. And the Yankees will be taking on the Indians. Let's see how many game series that is. 1, 2. Just a 2-game series. And Andy Messersmith making his first appearance for the Yankees, going up against Waits. So we'll see how that turns out. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell for reminders, let you know what's going on here. And hit that like button and leave a comment. Until next time, y'all have a great day and take care.